Welcome back to New Rockstars. I'm Erik Voss. This is Filet
Mignon.
Welcome back to New Rockstars. I'm Erik Voss. This is Filup Molina.
Guys, there are some major bite-sized questions that I'm really excited about getting the answer to that Erik is going to tackle this week. This one's from Yana Lama. What was Thanos cooking on the farm planet in Endgame?
Oh, yeah.
In Endgame, he's got something on the
He's
stove.
got a full sequence where it's just like a cooking show. Well, we don't have an answer for this, but we can kind of look at some clues. It looks like some kind of stew. It's in a kettle over a fire. He picks these plants from his farm. They look like some kind of either a fruit or vegetable similar to a tomato or an ear of corn or a squash that you can just kind of like pick off. It's not a root vegetable like a potato. It probably wouldn't be a fruit unless it's like a tomato, because fruits are usually sweet. You want something more savory if you're gonna make a stew. Squash sounds like a good option. My guess is he's making like a butternut squash style stew or a bisque. He does season it, which implies that he has taste buds. What's interesting is if you look at the comics, Thanos does not require food. That's comics Thanos. He uses the energy of like Infinity Stones to sustain himself.
But also remember the condition that he's in. He's basically got like the flu.
Yeah, he's
when
weak.
He's there, and so he's like, I'm gonna make my, old chicken noodle.
He's limping, and he doesn't have the stones anymore. He reduced them to atoms. Also, like anybody who does fitness knows, you can't get that jacked without having like a heavy calorie intake every day.
Give me all the bacon and eggs you have.
Every villain has just got a huge physique, but like he needs some kind of gravity to work against his muscles for them to grow that large. But he does have taste buds if he seasons it. Like he wouldn't season food unless he cared about how it tasted.
And that's the question we care about. Does Thanos have taste buds?
Yeah, I think it is something interesting that like he seasons it and it reminds us, it evokes when Vision spices a pepper cache. Like, is he trying to evoke what Vision did? Because Vision can't taste either. He doesn't understand the concept of taste. So maybe there's like a bit of a Vision's soul that's speaking through Vision in that moment. Or
Do you
Thanos.
want a breakdown of all the superhero tongues in the MCU?
Yes, please.
In the meantime, at Julia Wow Shower, how common is Arthur Fleck's pathological laughter disorder?
Okay.
If it's real, which
it is real. It's based on a real condition. It's not named in the movie, but the closest analog we have in our medical science is called pseudobulbar affect, or PBA. And it's something that's common among stroke victims. So it's characterized by frequent involuntary bouts of crying, laughter, or other emotional displays, exaggerated or disconnected from the individual's actual emotional state. So this is something that is actually fairly common. It's caused by brain injuries, neurological disorders that impact the part of the brain that controls how we process emotion. And according to the Mayo Clinic, it affects 1 million people in the United States.
A million living
people.
right now?
Up to 1 million, because a lot of people suffer
That's a
brain
major
injuries.
city.
A lot of people get in car accidents, or they're older and they have strokes. They don't process emotion the same way. It's not like Arthur Fleck walking around. In some cases it is, but most of the time it's people who are suffering from a lot of other conditions as well, and that's kind of like the least of your worries. The fact that they're laughing when they shouldn't be laughing, or crying when they shouldn't be crying. Just to give you a sense of the scale, 1 million people is roughly the size of the population of a lot of cities, like San Jose, California,
exactly.
has 1 million people.
It's half of Miami.
Yeah. Half of our subscribers have inappropriate emotional responses to things.
I mean, that's all of them.
Yes.
Probably do.
Yeah.
As do we. That's super interesting that it's that high a number. Here's the real question then. What happened to the Joker's brain?
He was tortured as a kid, right? He was abused by Penny Fleck's ex-boyfriend, who tied him to a radiator, and his brain was pressed against the heat of a radiator. I don't know if that would be enough to damage it. You'd think that'd be like a flesh wound as opposed to like brain damage. But like if he's doing that to him, he might also be like,
Beating the crap out of him.
Beating him up.
Also, radiators, radioactive probably, right?
That's how they work, right?
Yeah, that's where you get the heat from.
Depending, if you live in Canada, you might need a radioactive radiator.
What's this character?
Because it's so cold up there.
This is...
I'm a snowman.
But a Canadian one, right?
Not a Canadian. It's kind of southern.
Hello, present day Erik here. I just wanted to thank you guys for supporting us, and we hope you are enjoying these classic bite-sized segments. They're classic. They're segments that we realize not all of you guys have had the time to watch, because we know they're buried in other videos, kind of hard to find. And we know most of you have not seen them because we keep getting asked these questions questions from you over and over again, which is totally fine. They are very good questions, and we have made great answers that we are so happy to help get more eyeballs on. Pre-quarantine Erik is coming back to answer the next question for you. But real quick, before we move on, I want to thank The Ridge for sponsoring this video. They are the makers of these sleek front pocket wallets. The Ridge wallet is light and sleek and industrial. It is designed to fit in your front pocket, unlike those bulky 90s style back pocket wallets that give you an America's ass no one would want to salute. This one is their black titanium model. It's so slick you can do some sleight of hands with it. I don't know how to do magic, I just feel cool holding it. When you head out the door for like a quick errand to get whatever essential stuff that you need, you just take the minimal essentials with you to make for a quick, hassle-free transaction. That's what these Ridge wallets are perfect for. The Ridge wallet comes in over 30 styles and colors, including carbon fiber, burnt titanium. It holds up to 12 cards and still has room for cash. Every Ridge wallet comes with a lifetime guarantee, and they will let you test drive it for 45 days and then send it back for a full refund if you don't love it. But it's got 30,000 5-star reviews, so you know they're doing something right. They also have great backpacks and travel bags with RFID blocking pockets, optional device charging batteries, and Ridge wallets are apparently chainsaw proof, so you know when Jason Voorhees kicks down your door, at least your credit cards will be okay. Get 10% off today with free worldwide shipping and returns by going to ridge.com/newrockstars. That is ridge.com/newrockstars. Use the code newrockstars. Find the link in the video's description.
This one's from @SpillySpitz. Great name. In The Walking Dead, Jerry's axe cuts a dude in half, but then is also unable to just cut a lock on a chain. So the question is this a mistake? Should an axe that can cut a person clean in half be able to just cut through a lock?
Great question. We're constantly wondering this when we're watching The Walking Dead. It's a...
We tried it.
Yeah, we did. We demonstrated. R.I.P. Gabe. The thing with The Walking Dead is it's all about like whatever delivers the most gross out gore, because that's why we're watching the show at this point. Now the question's referring to in season 8, episode 4, the savior, Gunther, has kidnapped Ezekiel, and Jerry, his henchman, who has his big battle axe, saves Ezekiel right when he's about to die by cutting the dude in half vertically through like his collarbone, through his chest. Basically, we see a shot of his back and like flesh splits open, and we just see Ezekiel be like, huh? And we don't know how clean, like Jerry takes another whack at it. We don't really hear a clear sound to tell us, oh, what body part was slashed open there. But it's implied that in one clean swipe, he's able to split this guy in half like a pumpkin.
You're able to tell based on the sound what body part has been slashed.
Wait, you
open?
can't?
Not anymore.
I bet like Foley artists, if you were to play like a specific sound effect, be like, that's the next snap.
Spleen.
Broke his foot.
Yeah.
But what's crazy about it is this same axe, they're trying to get away from some walkers, and he can't hack open a chain that's keeping the gate closed. Now, the thing about this is researching this, a metal steel chain is actually very, very hard to cut with an axe. There was a YouTuber, his name is Wrangler Star, and does this kind of stuff like in a metal shop all the time to see, like, it's kind of like a will it blend type thing. Or
Will it
Mythbusters.
axe.
Will it axe?
Let's talk about that.
He was trying to test to see if the scene in Cool Hand Luke, where a chain is cut, he tried to do it and was not able to do it because every time he tried to chop it, it was just the blunt force blow of the axe swing would just push that metal link into the wood of the surface that it was resting on. So it wouldn't cut it. It requires a tremendous amount of strength on both sides, Newtonian third law there. So what he was able to do is get a steel surface. So he needed a strong steel surface pushing back against the axe blow to wedge all that force on the link itself. And only then he was able to cut it almost all the way through, but it was very hard and he had to get a full swing. So Jerry doesn't have any such force pushing back against that chain. So yeah, it would be really hard for him to split a steel link chain open, which has a much, much higher tensile strength than human flesh and bone. What is kind of crazy about this moment is the fact that Jerry could cut open a human with one blow of an axe.
Yeah.
It would wedge probably in Gunther's chest, and then it would take him down.
Now,
but it wouldn't split him open like
Where's the entry point?
the entry point, they don't show the entry point, but it's not like completely straight down the head, because the skull is actually very hard. I think I saw a Mythbusters episode on that. The skull is not easy to break or to split open like that. You can fracture it for sure. And the femur are two of the strongest bones of the body. But going through the collarbone's very easy to break. I broke it as a kid.
So it's a diagonal.
Yeah, it's kind of like a
Seatbelt cut.
an 80-degree angle, I would say. Yeah, seatbelt cut is safe. And it kind of goes through, we don't know if it goes through like his crotch or his legs, but it's implied that it at least goes through his chest. And then it splits open like a pinata. Now, we don't know how much calcium Gunther's getting, but it's safe to assume that that part was ridiculous. It was just done for shock value. But it is plausible that Jerry should not have been able to cut open that link. So that part of it is safe to say.
Great. All right.
Plausible.
Bite-sized question answered. Bite-sized is gross when we're talking about this.
So that's been this week's episode of Big Question. A reminder to hit us up with questions for next week using the hashtag Big Question. You can get featured on the show. One of these silly Twitter handles will be yours next week. And let us know what you like about this show. If you want to see different kinds of questions answered, we just love making this an interactive Q&A thing where we can finally have an opportunity to answer the things you guys have always been asking us so we can't fit into other videos. I've been Erik Voss.
I'm slightly drunk.
Make sure to follow us at EA Voss, at Filup Molina on everything, and see you next week. Bye.